Morning, Mike Carl. Hey, quick review of this site. Just a couple things up front. It's not secured, and they're showing all the credit cards down here. No number is live. The contact us, I guess, is the order form. You know, but I, I don't know why they have it this way. So they don't really have an online store, and it makes sense. It was 2012 when this thing was built, and that's probably the last time they did anything. So the content's probably relative to then. This little slideshow here is very impressive. It does give you a great view of everything they have, but it slows the sucker down a lot. In fact, it has a decent grade for everything else because back then, see the width, that was commonplace, so they used the border for a little bit of decoration, and that's cool. But you've got with all of these pages and some of the sub pages down here and the footer, you got 10 or 12 pages. So this kind of content, usually $69.99 is what we would charge, and we still have the 40% markup for you guys in there. Okay, and we can split that. But because this content's existing, probably like 3,000. But I will tell you the problem is it's not secured, and it even tells you here, you should not enter any sensitive information on the site, passwords, credit cards, right? So how are they doing that? No numbers are live. I can't click to call. The contact form is what it is. The color chart's nice, but this needs to be set up in a different palette. You need a video and a picture gallery, which is what you would do today to keep the site healthy. Because on one of the tests, you see right here the image optimization, probably because no one's doing it. There's a little plugin we use that does it on a regular basis. It scores an F. Otherwise, the site does actually okay. 3.9 seconds to load. That's kind of slow today. But anyway, that's just relative. Everything else is holding up well, but that's because this content probably hasn't been updated, and who knows when. It did score a 63 here. And on Google, think with Google on the mobile side, I couldn't even get it to score. So it doesn't look like it's mobile optimized for sure. But anyway, let's just take a look. Let's do an inspect here. Let's see what it does look like. And this is on a iPhone 6, 7, and 8. Just kind of nice little range. And so you can see what it looks like. It's shrunk down, but can you read any of that? See that and then the menu's still up there. So it is not mobile optimized or mobile friendly for a mobile platform to, what we would consider in the last 3 to 5 years. So it's just been a while. They really didn't have it back then in 2012 the way we see it today. And that's no knock, but that's just where they are. So recommendation is site update, right? $3,000. But we will fix a lot of things. If you think you can get away with charging the $5,000 or $6,000 range, that'd be great. But I would say you could get $5,000 or $6,000 when we add the online store, which they do not have, right? So they don't have the online store. When you go here to online store, now it says down for maintenance. I was getting an error code. So they either got somebody working on it or something's happening. We can put a small e-commerce thing there. The amount of number of products is what I need to know, right? What is the number of products they actually sell? I know they can design anything, so I need an estimate of what kind of jobs they sell. Or is it going to be like our tow truck buddy that, people can call in and get a price and then pay online because they'll quote them? And then, or, body shops and other facilities can go online, get an estimate, and pay online and have the vehicle moved. That's an option for him because depending on the design, I think would depend on pricing. But if he's got a price menu and all that, we can do an e-commerce store or just create a payment gateway setup and then design something around kind of like an online store, right? It doesn't have to be e-commerce. If he's not selling all the balloons or packages with an SKU description, weight, and all that crap so we can get shipping done, then we can probably go a different way and keep it relative. Either way, 6,000 with the online store, 5, 6,000 somewhere in there, but for sure need to update this one. But as we go back, of course, we would secure it. SSL, security, HTTPS is all included with us. We also offer the first year hosting. After that, it's $249 a year, and that's 24/7 U.S. English support. Probably will, wherever this domain is, we'll just use it. But you can tell it was built in HTML back then, and that's, not a bad thing. One of the things I found to be a problem, Facebook was great. It took me straight to their Facebook page. Just some of this stuff here, same thing. You need the symmetry to look the same. This is super busy. Kind of gives me a nice collage, but they can put that in the photos section and create something for people to dive into. But this needs to be a hook, not a splatter. Small thing, right? Everything seems to be there. You see the emails, a Yahoo, it's not a business one. It does take us back to the site. So that's the only one that's really linked, because if you do LinkedIn, well, let's try Twitter. Twitter first. So I have a Twitter account, of course, and it just takes me to Twitter generically. So since I have an account, it's just put me on my dashboard, not on their dashboard. So if you go to Twitter and you can search balloons every day, it does show up, but this logo doesn't match the current company, right? Or to me, it doesn't. I think the colors are different. Yeah, see? So it doesn't look the same. I might not understand it's the same, but if you do a balloons everyday search, you can see these cats pop up first, right? Even though it starts with an E. So they might be scooping them a little bit on Twitter since they've been around a long time. The other thing would be like this news feed. It takes you to this page, a static page on this site that says welcome to our new site. Take a tool around kind of deal. I don't even know if anybody's doing that right now, news feeds. LinkedIn, when you click on LinkedIn, same thing. It takes me to my page because I have an account, because it doesn't go to their page. But when you go to their page, if you search their name, it does say that this Balloons Everyday is an unclaimed page. So, I mean, gosh, there's a lot of, I've got an investor, and my daughter has partnered up with them. They bought an event center for weddings, corporate events, every kind of party you can think of. And she's connected in the corporate world. And they do a ton of weddings too. But, man, balloons would be a huge benefit to somebody like that. So he needs to be in those circles, like Tie the Knot. A couple of big website companies that offer services for brides or corporate events, those types of things. There's a couple of big ones that you can register your business in there. So that would get him some cross leverage, but I would say his links are not directly connected with the other two big domain ranking companies. When you look at this, there's like 7, 8, 9. Looks like there's 10 or so total pages, because the footer matches the header. 10's usually about $69.99 when we do that, when we get up in that range, so we have a couple of different brackets. But I would do it for 3 because the content is existing. We need to modernize it and get it to a platform that makes sense. We need to understand, is this logo going to stay this or the one that's in other places? And then, we would also need to set them up a Google My Business page. So I would say total package, $5,000-$6,000, and we can include an option in the store. Did you want a true online store where we're uploading inventory and we'll set it up to where he can do that? Have an online tool to manage all that, or is it just packages that he's offering, right? And then, of course, we'll make all this live, phone numbers. People can pay and order things. We just want him to be able to sit there and take business in, because it doesn't look like it's happening now, right? So yeah, 5,000-6,000 is the minimum. $69.99 is what I would probably charge to include the store and create the Google My Business page, and then fix a lot of the links on the social media, and then give them some ideas on what to do on social media. So there's where we go, man. Okay, appreciate it.